All right, move back to East Coast. Bill, as your success continues and you become even more financially stable and set for the long term, that is an impossibility. I don't understand how you get financially, because at the end of the day, even if you just take all your money and you stick it in a bank, what those cunts do is at some point they play a little fucky fuck and they loan everything out. I will never forget just watching people with their life savings in there standing outside the bank and there's just a padlock on it. So there's really no place that you can put it. Every place you put it, someone's going to put their fucking hands on it. You know what I mean? Okay. You stick it in the stock market, they start investing it. They just it's so fucked up. They won't just let you have your money. The only way to do it is if you fucking just cashed your check every week and you stuck it in the wall. And then you got to worry, did I leave the iron on? Every time you leave, or someone gets wind that that's what you're doing. And then you got to have the shotgun bed. Have you ever seen the shotgun bed?
No.
It's the greatest fucking bed in the world if you live alone. It's basically, if it's the headboard. You bring your hands back like this as you touch it. Mm-hmm. The thing flips around like a secret door and a loaded shotgun comes down in your hand.
That's a real thing?
Yeah.
That's not made from a movie?
It's the fucking shit. But here's the thing. Whenever they show the demonstration, the person's in the bed by themselves.
Okay.
Because when it comes down, the fucking barrel is going to be pointing at your wife, at her head.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Well, what you got to do is you got to sleep on the side of the bed. If you're a left-handed shot or a right-handed shot, you got to sit on the side of the bed where, if in your panic, you know what I mean? Like if you woke up in the middle of the night and you looked over and there was just this figure standing there in the door, like that horror movie, when the lady, then she turns the lights on, then she turns it off, and then it's there.
Yeah.
Then she turns it on, she turns it off, and it moved up like 10 feet. And it's like, bitch, leave the fucking lights on.
I cannot watch that trailer because that's exactly what I think. I'm like, why do you keep flicking it on? Maybe because you're like, am I seeing what I'm really seeing? I don't know.
When it moves up, though, that is the shit.
Yeah, it's scary, but I can't deal with that.
You know something? I hate people who don't buy into horror movies. I always buy in. I'm like, all right, I get it. Yeah, she's flipping the lights on.
That would never happen in real life.
Yeah. Anyways. The only way I can see that you're financially fucking set is you buy a house and you fucking pay it off.
All right, get to the rest of this thing here.
Okay. You had any thoughts about what point you would have to get to before you move back to the East Coast? I know that Nia may not be fond of this, and you may not be thinking about it either, but it seems like you would be happier back in Boston. Who the fuck is this idiot?
You don't know me.
Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know what I like. Boston, New York, etc. I'm from Pittsburgh originally and lived in Chicago for a few years, and now I'm in Washington, D.C. area. So I never lived on the West Coast, but have visited numerous times. You can't beat the weather in L.A., but you can't beat the culture of the East Coast. Would love to hear your thoughts, and thank you for keeping us all entertained.
Have you been complaining about L.A. a lot?
No, not at all. I love L.A.
Why does this person seem to think that you'd be happier back in Boston?
Because people, I get. Well, by the time I read the rest of it, I get it. He's just looking at the world through his own eyes. I don't know. I sometimes I think about moving back east, but I mean, I'm doing efforts for family. The show business is out there. And there's fucking great people in L.A. There's great food. There's all this great stuff to do out there. A lot of people shit on L.A. because when they move out there, they try to make it in show business, and if they don't get anywhere and they pack it in and they leave, all they really met was a bunch of other desperate people that didn't get anywhere. And it can give you a really bad feeling about L.A. I've had that experience, too, the first time I went out there. I was like, fuck L.A. All the real people are on the East Coast. And I started having that attitude. But, when you go out there, when you break through, and you start meeting people, some of, really most talented, generous, cool fucking people I've met have been when I've been out there. And, 9 times out of 10, if you meet somebody legendary, you quickly realize why they're a fucking legend. And that's because of their attitude. They've made all this money. They're really super successful, and they're still genuinely interested in new things and don't feel that they know everything and that type of shit. And I don't know. You can't beat the fucking houses out there are awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you've never once complained about living in LA. If anything, you're like, I love it out here. I love it out here.
Yeah.
So,
and I also love New York.
You're getting that.
I love New York, but like, if I was ever to move back to New York, I mean, at this point, I'd have to live in a house. Like, once you live in a house, you can't go back to living in a fucking apartment and traipsing up and down the fucking stairs. And just living in New York, you have no car. You're just like this prisoner of the neighborhood, and you're just sitting there dying for new restaurants to open up. I just remember that. And then you got this little ass fucking kitchen, and you're watching like, I used to watch Molto Mario, and I'm like, I'm going to buy one of those. I'm going to buy one of those. And then I had no place to put it. And all these pots and pans stacked up. I can't do it. New York City's for young people, And if you don't believe me, look at the older people that live there and look at their postures and shit. Like, I don't know.
I love New York, but I couldn't go. I don't know that I'd want to live there again. Not in the city, at least.
Yeah, I feel like that part of my life is over.
Yeah, it was fun in my 20s.
Yeah, I rollerbladed on all those avenues. But if we ever went back, I'd get a house and I'd just drive into the city.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then bitch, moan, and complain about the fucking traffic.
Exactly.
I would do that.
Live in the suburbs in Westchester or whatever. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. But I mean, I kind of feel like I'm going to do this cartoon, and then I'm going to be ready to be like, all right, if this thing goes like, 7-8 seasons, that's it. What else more? Well, what else more do you need to do? I went out to L.A. I got a TV show. We did it for 8 seasons. People liked it. I made people laugh.
Yeah.
And then what? I would do the Seinfeld.
Vegas.
Do the Seinfeld. Yeah, then I do my fucking...
Vegas.
my drum solo fucking comedy show.